Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Monogram International, the new 52 Superman Bust Bank. Spot picked up another one of the bust banks from the folks over at Monogram International. You can find these at your local comic book stores. You can probably see why I ended up picking up this particular one. Yes, it's because Spot's such a big fan of the new 52 Superman design. Granted, it's not a design that Superman uses anymore, but really, I've always loved the design of the costume. Now, this is a bust bank, so of course the only portion of Superman you're going to see is from the waist up. The slot for your change, your money, your spare moolah can be housed or entered right at the top of Superman's neck. And then from down below, you can remove this. I've just left it on just for the purpose of showing you guys here how when you pick it up, what it looks like. You just simply remove that, and then you can go ahead and open up your change compartment to access everything that you've saved inside. The one thing I do like about the Monogram releases, let's just put that back. The one thing I do like about the Monogram releases, though, is that at least from the ones that we've looked at so far, they factor in things such as change storage. I know it seems like such a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how many bust banks necessarily aren't successful with storing change. They either have like little areas, little bends and stuff like that to it, which really don't support change very well. The beauty of something like a Superman here is that this whole section right here is adequate areas and a good storage section for where you can put all the coins and stuff like that that you're putting in. They've also done a pretty good job on coloring as well. Not only just giving him a blue treatment to his costume and the red and the yellow, but they've also airbrushed in some additional shading, which you can probably see a little bit more in the cape portion that's tucked into his top of his costume here. Then areas around the abs, fine looking abs there for Superman. I wish I had abs like that. The areas around his abs are also airbrushed in a darker, almost blue borderline gray wash as well. The head sculpt is a slightly different take on Superman. Gone is the Superman curl in favor of something more like a parted cut on Superman's hairstyle. The sculpt on the hair as well as the sculpt on the face actually I think are really good for a bust bank. It's one thing that Monogram does deliver well on. It's sculpts on bust banks. Again, a bust bank sounds promising, but sometimes if you have a poor sculpt on a character, it could be a real deal breaker. And I think for Monogram, I think that it's always a win, personally speaking. I also like the fact that the emblem on the Superman S is raised as opposed to just being painted on the cape. It is indeed a fine looking bust bank here. Relatively light now, but rest assured it will be much heavier when Spot starts putting his change in there, and I can save up for my favorite comics and collectibles. Speaking of comics, speaking of collectibles, you can find these as well as other Monogram releases over at your local comic book stores. If they don't have them, you can always ask the person that's guy or girl or owl. You can ask them behind the counter and they can order them in for you. Today's collectible spot, we were having a look at the Monogram International. This was the new 52 Superman Bust Bank. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.